am at a location where this is a gorgeous setup on the bathroom. There's a lot of room in here. And so the way it used to look, this is all travertine, and it still looked good then, but they had a drop-in tub over here with the tub deck and all that stuff, and it was a little different configuration. Now they have a freestanding tub. I know these things are acrylic now. That one may not be. That may be a real cast iron tub. But anyway, it's a great idea. And this marble is throughout, and I love this marble. I don't like working with it because of all these little squares and all that stuff, but this is a lot of marble, a lot of tile. And so marble takes a lot of care. This is a honed marble, meaning that it's not polished. So that's the difference, honed and polished. And honed marble is probably better for a floor application, so you don't have so much issues with scratching and stuff like that, although it will scratch, but I'm just saying on a shinier marble, it's more profound. And this is a shower, and the shower looks very nice. So the reason I'm here specifically, and look at all this tile, just one brick stacked on another one, and I've done this type of tile before, and it's just, wow, you got a lot of respect for bricklayers doing one at a time. But the reason I'm here is this. So at first glance, and the way that it was brought across to me at first glance, is that we have some water penetration, and the water is kind of, you know, seeping up through this area, and it has caused these tile to darken, and that over time, once all this dries out, that it will turn back to its natural state, which has not been the case. This is dried out now for, what was it, 3 days, 4 days, that they have not used a shower. In addition, they also used, when this shower was done, it was less than a month ago. I think it was about 3 weeks ago when it was finally done. And so this started around this area, and then it's kind of spread out from there. And as I rub my hand across it and across the grout line, I'm not feeling any type of moisture content whatsoever. You would think if you have that much moisture to cause all this, that you would be able to feel it, and you can't. I don't have my moisture meter to kind of confirm or deny that, but then we also have this issue, because now we have 3 tile over there that are doing the same thing, and it's kind of finding its way up in a vertical fashion where it hadn't before. So given the makeup of the shower and how the shower is built, and having seen the pictures during the process, which is wonderful for the homeowner. I love that people take pictures of the process because it lets me know all that stuff that I don't know. But given the fact that he's done everything right in here, and given the fact that the building process, and that he used a whole gallon of Redguard in this whole, he's only got 2 walls and a niche and a shower area, but he used a whole gallon. So I think the homeowner said there was at least 3 coats, if not 4 on some areas, that was Redguarded. But also the problem, which I don't know it has to do with any of this stuff, is that he put pan liner on the studs, and you're not supposed to encapsulate a waterproof surface with another waterproof surface because it can beget a mold sandwich. So in other words, there's pan liner that goes literally up to here on all of this wall to the stud. Then there's backer board, I think it was hardy backer that was put on here. Then that was Redguarded at least 3 times, and then the tile put on. So did that cause any of this? No, but I'm just letting you know that this guy went overkill to make sure. And I think it was actually the homeowner who requested that the liner be up there. But regardless, it doesn't really matter. I'm trying to focus in on what the issue is here. There is a stone sealer that they purchased, which is basically for all porous natural stone: granite, marble, quartz, travertine, limestone, slate, and grout. So that covers the gamut of all natural stones that I know about. But it's possible that this staining that's going on with the marble could be caused by this. I don't know. The installer said that he has run into this before, and that they used the wrong sealer, and that it should be an oil-based sealer, which I'm not aware that there is an oil-based sealer. If there is, then you know, you might want to put a comment down below, or if you've seen something like this happen before. My take on it is that it's possibly a chemical reaction which I hadn't even thought about until literally about 5 minutes ago. Whenever I do natural stone, whether it's marble or any type of natural stone that I just read off of this label, I always make sure that I use a natural stone thin set. And that thin set is, generally speaking, about $35, $38 a bag. Even though it's not my money being spent, I usually will not buy that type of thin set unless I'm dealing with a natural stone, and then I will. Because I know that through the years there are going to be chemical reactions, adverse chemical reactions between the thin set and the type of material that you're dealing with. So it's a small possibility that that's what's caused this, because now it's going up the wall, and you would think that that's a penetration of water or seal or something like that, and it could be. But it also could be the adverse reaction of the type of, and maybe those two stone also, the adverse reaction of mixing the wrong thin set with this type of tile. So I'm not really sure. I've discussed this in depth with the homeowner, and we have some solutions. But ultimately, I think what's going to have to happen is that all of this pan material has to be taken up. All of this hexagon tile has to be taken up, scraped off all the red guard on the surface, and then kind of redone in a succinct fashion to where you're making sure that not only this completely waterproof, because I don't know how he did the red guard. Maybe he perforated some areas or something. Maybe it is wicking of water coming backwards and coming up. But it's just odd that it's in this area. One thing that he did, not that this is important, but he clogged up the weep holes on purpose, and he also clogged up those big bolt hole areas where you kind of fashion the bolt in. Those holes shouldn't be covered. And I don't know if there's troughs on the drain. I think the homeowner said there were no troughs, bottom and top troughs on that drain flange, locking flange. So again, with regard to waterproofing everything, that's kind of a moot issue in my mind. But I'm curious myself why this is happening. And there's also, I think, one over here that may be turning, I don't know. But there's also a great thing that happened here in regard to what I just said about taking up all this material. This guy didn't set, he did his floor last. So, all this wall went up and then he did his floor. Well, I could tell by the grout line. So you have a horizontal grout line instead of a vertical grout line. So that's wonderful, because if all this has to be taken up, then you're not kind of relegated to having to take out all this wall tile, or any of it for that matter. So it can be done, it can be taken care of in place. Normally what I would do, and I've done it in the past, when I've had a water leak or something's happened around here, I've been able to just kind of take out this area. It's a little more difficult, obviously, with hexagon than it is with, a square tile where everything is lined up. But I don't think that's going to solve the issue, because I think ultimately, if this is happening here, it's just a matter of time before, because it's happening over there too, it's only a matter of time before it could rear its ugly head somewhere here weeks later after this has been mitigated. So I don't know that that's the solution. I think the solution is to take all this stuff out and use a proper thin set for this type of tile, to use a proper grout, which I would suggest Fusion Pro, because it's both stain proof and waterproof. That would be my suggestion. And then on top of that, get a proper sealer, because the tile itself is porous. All of that tile out there, all this tile is porous. And so you're dealing with something that takes a lot of care. So anytime you have a natural stone, you're going to have some care. Now, having said all that, and not to go on too long, this is an excellent job. This guy, there is nothing that there's very, very minor things that I feel bad about even talking about, but this guy did an outstanding job with what he had to work with. And walking in here, I can tell everything is very gradually sloped down to the drain. There's no humps, there's no dips, there's nothing going on. Floor is great. I can tell the curb has a slope on it, and even in the corner here and going that way, it has a slope. It has a very, very profound slope. So does the shelf, and so does the niche. It has slopes, and so does the window. I can tell from here the window has a slope going down. So that's excellent. I see all the 45s being done correctly. There's nothing like, the symmetry is right. You know, he started in the center and put the 2 rope tile and did its 45 cuts and all that stuff. And so, and there's no lippage in this tile. It's a lot of tile, and there's no lippage. And so there's nothing I can critique. The floor is excellent. You know, there's nothing I can say bad about any of this stuff. The minor stuff, I'm not even going to talk about. There are very small things that if you're really looking hard, you can find. So he was a great tiler, and I don't have a problem with his, except for not doing his floor first. He should have done that. But I don't have a problem with anything he's done on the surface. The prep is the most important thing on any shower. The prep is important. And so whatever he did or didn't do, and I'm not saying that this is caused by him, but more than likely it could be. I don't know. But the prep is the most important thing, and it will eliminate any problems that you have. So again, just guessing that maybe he didn't use the right thin set is causing this problem. It could be. It could be a chemical reaction that he was unaware of. I don't know. So if there's anybody out there has experienced this before that has nothing to do with moisture, and that it was some type of chemical reaction, that it was some type of sealer that you used or anything like that, that you might be able to kind of like opine on, put it down in the comment section, because it would be appreciated. Even if they find the solution before this video airs, I would like to know what your experiences are, and put them in the comment section. So that's it. That's all I have to really say about this. Otherwise, it's a fantastic job. Not sure whether there's a bump out here, but they took care of that bump out very, very well. And you know, lines, all that stuff, everything is just, look at this. Look at this small tile. Sorry, where's it at? Oh, small tile up here. It starts over here, and it just incrementally is pretty much all the same. And then it's just wrapped around perfect. The same type of cut that's up there is the same cut that's up there. I don't fault this guy for his tile work at all. It's really good.